Good evening, race fans, and welcome back for another action-packed edition of East Coast Formula One action. Here, we today are at the Marina Bay circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix. We are about to start round 21. Let's get qualifying underway. This circuit is not super old. The Singapore Grand Prix has been around for quite a while, but this circuit was first opened in 2008, I believe. It's got a total of 23 turns over the 5.063 kilometer circuit, or 3.146 miles. We last raced here in 2019, and that was won by Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel. We got quite a few cars ready to head out on track at the moment. Looks like the pit lane is full. Let's get on board with some drivers. Alright, we're on board with Labatt's Blues of Renault. He's the first out on track. This is a very tight circuit. It does have some runoff areas, but it is very unforgiving, just like Monaco. Some of the corners are extremely fast, very easy to break traction, and that margin for error is so minimal. Right here, where Labatt's is going through, was one of the big changes to the track. Back there at turn 10, they used to have essentially the Singapore slingshot. It was an extremely high curb that was quite difficult to not take for drivers, but it proved to be quite fatal essentially for some of them that decided to take that curb. It would send the cars a few feet in the air, most of the time not being able to make the corner and completely destroying their car in the wall. So that has been changed since, but we'll see what happens today. Labatt's is about to start his first hot lap here of the session. We'll hop on board with him as he comes through turn 23. It's a hard corner to take. It's a moment where you pretty much just got to lift slightly and then take that corner. If you take too much curb, it can unsettle the car. If you go too wide, that outside curb is quite slippery and does tend to break traction on the rear tires. So it is pretty tricky. I imagine you'll see some spins there today potentially. It's a good exit here into the first DRS section of the track. It's a very high speed corner here, full throttle. Taking a good amount of curb. So I'm going to hop into the standings here quickly. Red Bull has a pretty good lead here in the Constructors' Championship over Haas with a 135-point deficit. It is definitely possible. The chances are quite slim, but the possibility is there. Here in Singapore, being as close as it is to the bay, it is very possible that we could get rain. It does tend to happen once in a while, but we'll see what happens. Alright, Labatt's is about to have the first lap of the session. Oh, as he invalidates her on the last corner, essentially. That's devastating. He's got a Red Bull hot on his tail here. Alright, Monkey Mafia setting the first time of the session with a 137.634. And we got Guitar Maniac taking him a few notches down with a 136.007 in the Williams, 6/10 faster than second place currently at the moment. We got a Haas about to come across the line. Lucid, 138.847. Good enough for P3 at the moment. Dan King with a 142.4. Greenan, 138.739 in the McLaren, good enough for P3 at the moment. We've got quite a few cars coming across the line. Stewart taking 6th. Fox with a 138.528, good enough for P3 at the moment. Looks like we got another Alfa Romeo coming. That'll be Kaz. I missed it. He got a 138.393 to bump Fox down for P3. We got another Williams coming, ZGS, on his outlap. We got an AlphaTauri here. Our statistician, Raimai, the main guy. Good enough for P8 with a 140.575 on the medium compound tire. For anyone new to the stream or new to F1, you can see I've put up the tires on the left side of the screen there. Those are the different compounds a driver can use throughout a session. The softs, that red compound tire, is the stickiest and the fastest, but it also wears out quicker. The mediums are the yellow compound tire, a little less sticky but can last longer, and the final dry compound is the hards. We don't see any hards right now, all because it is qualifying. Those last the longest, but also are the least grippy. We got Smith Pell taking second place so far for Red Bull with a 137.056, about 500ths back. Oh, Fox gets a collision with ZGS, costing him 5 grid places on the start. Majorly unfortunate. Dan King diving into the pits. Oh, Stewart just put another lap in. He bumped up into P4 with a 138.144 for Mercedes. We got a couple Haas cars coming. Lucid diving into the pits. His teammate, Jay Kelly, also in the pit. ZGS puts in a flyer with a 137.433 on the mediums. Very good lap from him. See if he can stay up there. Hopefully that'll be a good starting spot as you got the double stack here in the Haas pit. We'll see who we got coming around here. We got Smith Pell, he's on an in lap. I can see a Mercedes there. Jay Steed just about to start his hot lap. You can see a Renault of Labatt's. He is going to set another lap here on the mediums. See where he ends up. Good enough for P8. With 10 minutes left in the session, P8 with a 138.490 for Labatt's and Renault. As you can see, Guitar coming out of the pits there for Williams. Quite a few cars in the pits right now. Probably some new tires potentially. Get a refuel and head back out on track. Alright, we got Stewart is invalidated. Imagine he's on an in lap. You can see a McLaren back there. That'll be Mo Powa, Reenan's teammate there for McLaren. He'll be starting his first hot lap, sorry, on those medium tires. We've got a few comments there. Big Pete hoping it's a hoping it's a wet race for these guys. But Monkey Mafia, one of the Red Bull drivers, did say it's a dry race, so these guys are getting lucky today in Singapore. Don't have to deal with the rain here. ZGS putting another lap in. Looks like he's just starting another hot lap here. See if he can't get any closer to his teammate up there in P1 at the moment, Guitar Maniac. Got a couple cars further back on track here. We'll see. Looks like we got Dissection on a flyer. He's on the soft compound. See what the AlphaTauri can do here. Good exit. And this is a very key part of the track. Nails it. Good enough for P6. 137.806 for the AlphaTauri. ZGS does not improve his time. Or Guitar Maniac, mind you, doesn't improve his time. We got a Renault coming across the line, sorry. Flavius just starting his first hot lap. Mo Powa was invalidated, so he'll have to take another trip around. Detail just starting his hot lap. Hop back on board here. Flavius in the Renault. We have a couple more cars on hot laps. See a Ferrari there. He's on his out lap. Greenan is on a hot lap, setting a purple sector 1 so far for McLaren. He is hunting down Guitar Maniac. Looks like we might have a spun. No, maybe not. He's just letting cars by. Cruise back on down here. Gotta just keep swapping back and forth here. Sorry, folks. Try to get everyone's laps in here as best we can. Dissection will not improve his time. JST, he's also on an in-lap by the looks of it. Flavius getting close to the finish line here as he comes through lap or turn 21, out through 22 and into 23. Nails the final sector. Good enough for P14 with a 140.438 on the mediums. Detail will be next across the line here. Ooh, good enough for P2 with a 136.978. About 9/10 back on Guitar Maniac. You can see a Haas back there. Lucid is on his out lap, just about to start a hot lap. Who else do we got here? We got Fox in the Ferrari. He's looking good so far. Oh, bumped himself up a lot of places. 136.717 on the softs. Good enough for P2 in the Ferrari. Got an AlphaTauri of Dissection. He invalidated, so he'll take another trip around the track. Bats is on his next out lap. He is putting in some time on those mediums. That looks to be his tire strategy. He'll be starting on the mediums. See an Alfa Romeo of Dan King on an in lap. Reenan sitting up there in P8 with a 137.712. Flavius is on an in lap as well. Jake Kelly on an in lap. Raimai invalidated, so I don't know if he'll take another trip around or not. It's hard to say if he's got enough fuel. USGT is the only driver yet to put in a lap so far. Detail in the Racing Point is also on an in lap. See another Ferrari there. That will be Yuppie starting his out lap. He's about a third of the way through. You can see another one there. Is that Fox? Yeah, Fox. He is on an in lap. He is on an in lap. I can see a Mercedes coming. That is Stewart. He's 1.7 seconds up on his time. Nails that final turn. Oh, 136.004, 3/1000ths of a second ahead of Guitar Maniac. He squeezed every bit of time out of that car that he could and puts himself on provisional pole for Mercedes. Fantastic lap out of Stewart. Unreal. We're going to have some good action here today, that is for sure. Yuppie about to start his next hot lap. Oh, my apologies. That Mercedes just pulled off track. A few guys retire now. We're nearing the end of the qualifying session. Yuppie just starting his next hot lap for Ferrari. seeing if he can improve out of P8. Smith Pell starting his next hot lap for Red Bull. Not too far behind the Ferrari. Not close enough to get a tow, but we know that Smith Pell's got some good pace, so we'll see where he lands the Red Bull here near the end of qualifying. USGT is on an outlap on a set of intermediate tires. That's quite surprising. I don't know if he's got an issue or just trying to start at the back. I'm not quite sure there, but he will be starting near the back, pending anybody else crashing, I guess, or anything of the sort. Got a few cars. Oh, Smith Pell had a spin. Hopefully he didn't damage his car too much. Otherwise he will not have enough time to put another lap in. He's letting some cars by as they come closer there. You can see a Renault, sorry, crossing the line there. We have a Alfa Romeo. That'll be Dan King just starting his hot... Oh, he's diving into the pits. That'll be the end of qualifying for Dan King. At the moment, he'll be starting in P19 for Alfa Romeo. Got a Ferrari coming into the pits. You can see a Racing Point down there. That'll be USGT. Oh, I got my settings messed up here. There we go, fitted. He is on the soft compound tire. So we'll see where he can land the Racing Point. His teammate Detail sitting up there in P4. Guitar Maniac out on track trying to get... Oh, he's going to have enough to do it too. He squeaks in a 1:35.541. Manages another half a second out of his lap. That is a blazer. That was a heck of a lap there. Dissection just coming across the line. Bumps himself up a few places into P6 right at the end here. Kaz also bumps himself up. Oh, ZGS cruising up closer to his teammate there. 1:36.240. Good enough for P3 at the moment. We still got a few cars coming across the line. Reenan bumps himself up a few places into P4. Some of the guys that retired earlier are getting bumped down a little bit. Some really good laps being put in here today in Singapore. Common sight there. I don't know if anyone can see that, but there is raindrops coming down. Like I said, being as close to the bay, it is not uncommon to see rain here. So we have been told it's a dry race. So we'll see if it sticks out dry for the entirety of it. Race control just disabled DRS. But we are at the end of qualifying here. So as it stands, there's only a couple more drivers on track that are able to put in a lap. It looks like Kaz abandoned his. So that'll be good enough for P9 at the moment, pending anybody else getting across the line, improving on their times. Guitar Maniac slowly getting that Williams back to the pits, making sure he doesn't crash here on the slick, wet track. Oh, and we just missed a crash by Dissection there. It significantly makes the track more slippery as this rain comes down. Those slick tires cannot handle it anymore. And I think that'll be the end of qualifying. It appears that everybody else has abandoned their hot laps. And that'll do it. Guitar Maniac taking pole position for Williams Racing with Stewart right behind him. They were super close, only 0.003 of a second split those top two drivers, but Guitar Maniac managed to pull a rabbit out of his hat there and get a little bit more performance out of that Williams. Maybe pushing a different racing line, something of the sort, but regardless of what he did, He smashed his previous time by half a second and managed to put the Williams racing team on pole position here in Singapore. As the final few cars pull into the pits, we will be done qualifying here, and we'll get to the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Round 21 of the East Coast Formula One Championship. Our current leader in the Drivers' Championship, Smith Pell, sitting down there in P7 to start the race. So we'll see how that pans out for him. Guitar Maniac taking poles, followed by Stewart on the front row for Mercedes. P3 goes to ZGS. P4, Renan and McLaren. P5 goes to Fox. 6 goes to Detail to lock out the third row. Smith Pell taking 7th. 8th goes to Dissection in the AlphaTauri. 9th for Kaz. 10th for Monkey Mafia, rounding out the top 10. Yuppie taking 11th for Ferrari. Jay Kelly in the Haas taking P12. Jay Steele starting 13th. Labatt's in P14. 15th goes to Mo Powa in the McLaren. Lucid taking 16th for Haas, Jay Kelly's teammate for today. Raimai in the AlphaTauri in P17. P18 goes to Flavius in the Renault. P19 to Dan King, and rounding out the grid, USGT, and 20th for Racing Point. Last but not least, we're getting ready for lights out here in Singapore. Just got a message from our weather team down there on the pit wall confirming a dry race. I don't know if anybody looked far enough in, because once again, as we saw in qualifying, it is common for rain to start falling near the final laps. So we'll see if that happens. Maybe it's a full dry race. You can see in the Mercedes garage there, the wet tires are sitting there, so maybe they're planning for something else, maybe not. Everyone's got spare wings sitting out there in their pit boxes. Once again, very common for wings to take damage here in Singapore. It's a tight track, it's a quick track. Easy to meet up with another car, easy to meet up with a wall. So we'll see what kind of damage these cars get today, if any. Hopefully everyone can squeak away clean, but I have yet to see it, unfortunately. As everyone's just setting their final setups here. Getting their tire strategies figured out. And we'll be ready to start. Here we go, the formation lap beginning as the Williams takes off of Guitar Maniac to set the pace here. Once again, for anybody not familiar with Formula One racing, right now we're doing the what is called the formation lap. This gives the drivers hopefully a few moments to kind of shake out any nerves they got. You can see the Mercedes of Stewart there weaving back and forth. He's putting some load on the tires, trying to get some heat in there. You want a little bit of heat in the tires. You can see the pit stop strategies there. Soft, medium, hard. Soft, soft, medium, hard. Potentially a 3-stop depending on what happens here today. Brought to you by Amazon Web Services. The tire strategies play a major part in Formula One. Whether you're able to stretch tires longer, it's just war out there. It's just plain old war. So we'll see what happens with this tire strategies. Quite a mixed starting strategy. As you can see, the top 10 cars are starting on the softs. And then quite a few in that bottom half of the grid are starting on the medium compound tire, looking to stretch them a little bit further in the first stint of the race. Mo Powa starting on the hards. Bold strategy. We'll see how that plays out. Here at Singapore, like I said, with the very narrow track, essentially, not a whole lot of room for error with the barriers as close as they are. Safety cars are fairly inevitable here. Some guys may be hoping for one of those early on, and that'll play into their tire strategy. Some guys will have some worn tires from qualifying, I believe. I'm not quite sure how it works with short qualifying, but generally your fastest tire from qualifying moves you into the race. Those are the ones you start on. So we'll see what happens. The cars are rounding the final turn here, coming back to the pit straight after the formation lap, lining up on the grid, ready to start the race here in Singapore at the Marina Bay circuit. As the final cars are coming around the corner there, you can see USGT pulling up the rear for Racing Point. As the cars get set, they're lined up, and we are ready for lights out here. Race control getting ready. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. We are starting the Singapore Grand Prix. The Red Bull jets out quickly there as we head into turn 1. We'll see if we have any sort of chaos. We go too wide, wheel to wheel. A little bit of contact there with the Ferrari near the back as he sneaks back in underneath the Haas. Quite clean by the looks of it so far. Guitar Maniac getting out ahead. Nothing too crazy right now with the grid. It's staying fair. Oh, we go almost wheel to wheel there with Detail and Renan. Dissection almost into the back of Renan there. Oh, Mo Powa got pushed a little bit by Raimai. Oh, Mo Powa into the side box of Dan King and into the wall. Oh no. That was devastating. Stewart taking a quick position from Guitar Maniac here, about halfway through the first lap. We'll see what kind of pit stops we get here. As you can see, the pit stop strategy changed a little bit there. I think Dan King... Oh, he's missing an end plate on his wing. That'll be an early pit stop, unless he decides to stay out if he can try to push it. I know you definitely need some significant downforce here, but we'll see what happens. ZGS putting the pressure on his teammate, Guitar Maniac, followed closely by Smith Pell. The gaps are not too far right now on this opening lap. Monkey Mafia putting the pressure on, trying to get by Dissection. Dan King, severe collision with USGT. I don't know if we've got some ghosts happening here. Dissection, yep, he getting by him. Looks like we got a grid swapping around here. 3 wide. We got a battle going on here at the back. Alright, everything pretty good right now. Our intervals are not changing. Try to keep those updating, hopefully. Should start changing shortly. So we can hopefully keep an eye on the on-track battles here. crashed McLaren at the back. Mo Powa have an issue with those brand new mediums. Labatt's looks like he might have just got disconnected there. Let's see if I can get him back in. Okay, I think looks like we got our gaps back here. Wheel-to-wheel battle with Kaz and Yuppie. Oh, he almost loses it. His teammate gets by him there, Fox. Jay Kelly also taking advantage of that mistake. Wheel-to-wheel. This is racing right here. The Ferrari starts to take off on the Haas. Gains that position from him. I don't know if he'll keep it long, but we'll see. I believe DRS is enabled, so the Yuppie may lose this position potentially. He may actually have DRS as well. He does. You can see the wing open there. So we got a bit of a DRS train going down the bridge. Almost in the back there. Yuppie closing in on his teammate Fox. Putting the pressure on, sticking on his gearbox here. Gaps are opening up a little bit here. Stewart has got a 1.6 second lead there up in the front. Detail hunting down Smith Pell. Two Red Bulls sitting in P3 and P5 respectively. Some pretty close gaps here. Further down, Jay Stee hunting down Reenan in the McLaren. Reenan dropped a few spots here at the start of the race, but that could change at any time. We haven't had a safety car yet. We've got a few guys with some connection errors, issues. Does tend to happen, unfortunately. Smith Pell not letting Detail by too easily, even through those DRS sections. Looks like Yuppie's still in the hunt for P7 from his teammate there. He wants to take that position. Mo Powa sitting the fastest lap of the session so far, the 141.285. That could definitely change as the track heats up. Guys get some different tires on. Once again, we'll have a little DRS train going here as the Ferraris will get by the Alfa Romeo. Oh, maybe not. Kaz closes the door on Yuppie. Gets a bit of a block there. So that'll open up the gap a little bit for Fox. Even though Kaz is right on his gearbox here. Gonna get another invite out here, sorry. Alright. Oh, looks like the McLaren lost it. The Mercedes is hunting him down. Jay Stee is hunting down Reenan, and he may catch him here. He will have DRS. Reenan goes a little deep. Guitar Maniac taking a 3-second time penalty, and he will get by him with the help of DRS. See if he can. Oh, and he goes deep. Reenan closing up the gap a little bit, taking advantage of that mistake. Guitar Maniac just came out of the pits. He's got sorry, just a lap ago he has some brand new mediums there. Dissection getting by Lucid as well. See what these gaps are like at the front here. Oh, it looks like Kaz must have lost it. I missed that. He was in between the two Ferraris, but it looks like Jay Kelly and Yuppie got by him. Yuppie still hunting down his teammate there. Fox. His tires may be starting to wear. You can see a little bit of rear end slip there on the Ferrari. Don't have any on-track intervals at the moment. Obviously got some issues here. Detail still in between the two Red Bulls. Opening up the gap a little bit there. Detail sticking fairly close to the back of the Red Bull. I don't know if he's got that close enough gap to... Oh, the Fox had an error. Reening into the pits for McLaren with getting some brand new mediums on there, losing a few places. Guitar Maniac 140.443, quickest lap so far of the session for Williams. Jay Kelly now hunting down the lead Ferrari. We're up here in the helicopter. Good shot from seeing the bright lights here in Marina Bay. We got a spun car down there. Looks like an Alfa Romeo. Dan King lost it coming onto the bridge, unfortunately, as a few cars go by him. Guitar Maniac snagging a spot from Labatt's down in P14 and 15. He's having some connection issues, unfortunately. Labatt's there. JST hanging fifth, 5/10 back from Fox. He's also on some fairly new mediums, so to speak. Fox's tires, I'm assuming, are getting to the end of their life. He's losing a bit of ground. We got Stewart diving into the pits for Mercedes. As you can see, his team run out with a brand new set of medium tires. Nice quick pit stop and he's out of the box. Smith Pell taking on the lead with Detail shortly behind him. Quite a few drivers, 3 more in the pits at the moment. ZGS, Monkey Mafia, Fox, and Kaz, all getting brand new medium tires. Guys making a few spots up on them, but once again, all coming down to pit stop strategy. Some new medium runners in the top half of the grid. More guys coming into the pits. We're just leaving. We got Raimai and P18 at the moment coming out for AlphaTauri on a new set of mediums as well. Kaz, I'm thinking he got a new wing maybe. Dan King taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Detail sticking to the back of Smith Pell here as they come across the bridge. We got a close gap here. ZGS right on the gearbox of USGT. ZGS on a brand new set of mediums, 6-lap old mediums for the Racing Point. As they head down the bridge into the DRS zone, you can see the rear wing open on the Williams there, giving him a boost of speed. Look down the inside, but won't make it work just yet. He'll hang on and see if he can't get it done at a later time. Smith Pell, oh, he's diving into the pits. I was going to say I missed a battle there, but Monkey Mafia getting by Flavius in the Renault. Pair of Renaults sitting in P11 and 12 at the moment. Reenan getting by the ghost of Labatt's. It looks like Labatt's is not able to continue the race. Unfortunately, internet plays a big part. Sometimes it just doesn't do the trick. Stewart gaining a place. Fox taking a 3-second time penalty for Ferrari. Stewart is in P5. His teammate JC just ahead of him. He has not pitted yet. He will need to, obviously. So we'll see how that shakes up the field. Detail has also not pitted. So those soft tires will be nearing the end of their lifespan. Alright. We got a quick little, we got a gap here. Only 6/10 of Fox behind Reenan. Reenan pitted a lap before Fox managed to just get ahead of him there. Smith Pell, he's on the gearbox of the Racing Point. This could very well be a good passing opportunity. Guitar Maniac right behind the Red Bull. Ooh, and the straight just isn't quite long enough. Almost gets into the back there. Guitar Maniac on the gearbox. Kaz taking a penalty as well for Alfa Romeo. Smith Pell, he's still fighting. We'll stick on board with these guys for a second here as these gaps are quite close. See if we can't see any action. He'll get a little bit of DRS down the pit straight here momentarily. That won't yield to probably any positions. It's not quite long enough unless you get a significantly better exit in the car ahead, which he is getting close. He's going to look down the inside. Wheel to wheel, USGT goes wide. Smith Pell will take it. Guitar Maniac is also looking for that spot, but won't quite do it. We got a spun AlphaTauri of Dissection down in the bottom of the track, I believe. Unfortunately, he'll dive into the pits. As you can see, he's missing an end plate. We'll cruise back up here to the front. Smith Pell keeping it. Oh, and USGT goes wide. Guitar Maniac taking P8 from him. Fox getting by Flavius, almost into the back of Renan. Renan oh! Fox almost lost it. Flavius won't quite get in there, there's a bit of a lockup. Fox almost lost it. That was close. Got any other close on-track battles here? Kaz only 7/10 behind the AlphaTauri of Raimai. He's hunting them down. As they're getting close to the bridge here, potential overtaking opportunity. Detail is in the pits finally, swapping out those soft compound tires. He may have only lost a couple spots. Oh, those gaps are closing pretty quick there. The way that they looked, it looked like he wasn't going to lose too many, but he will, unfortunately. Monkey Mafia coming up on USGT as well. USGT's tires are getting fairly old. Probably only last for another few laps, roughly. It's hard to say. The Singapore track is quite demanding on the tires. A lot of high-speed turns. So that doesn't help. Oh, Monkey Mafia gets by him. Almost like he was standing still. They both had DRS, but the Racing Point had nothing for the Red Bull by the looks of it. He is getting close to him again, though. Trying to close that gap back up, not letting them take the spot too easily. USGT fighting for position here in the Racing Point. Monkey Mafia is trying to get away from him and hunt down his teammate Detail. He's just staying within DRS range. It looks like USGT fell out. So Monkey might be able to get that gap closed up a little bit here on the bridge section. And see if he can't hunt him down a little later. Guitar Maniac 8/10 back from Smith Pell in 6th place. Gaps opened up a little bit on the field there. A few seconds between most drivers. Kaz is very close here to Raimai as they come onto the bridge. Raimai getting contact on his rear tire there. Enough of a throw off to open up the gap again a little bit on Kaz there, but we'll see if he can hang on to that. They have equally worn medium tires. Mo Powa left the session. Looks like he's got some good connection issues as well. We got a virtual safety car. I don't see a car off track or anything, but VSC nonetheless. Raimai getting a little slippery there. We'll cruise back on up to the front here. Yuppie hanging on to first place for Ferrari at the moment. The cars are under a delta time. They cannot exceed a certain speed. DRS enable, we're green flags waving. We are racing again. Dissection retired from the session. We got a crashed AlphaTauri. Looks, oh, he hit the wall there and blew a wheel off, unfortunately. You can see his car laying there. Majorly unfortunate for AlphaTauri. The pair of Mercedes are hanging out in P3 and 4. JST, the lead car here. Stewart is hunting him down quick though. JST is on some pretty worn out mediums. They'll probably only last a few more laps, so Stewart does have the grip advantage. DRS, and he will take P3 from his teammate as they head through turn 1 into turn 2, 3, and 4. ZGS not too far behind the Mercedes as well. Cruise back down. ZGS is trying to hunt down the Mercedes. They both have DRS, so JST does defend. Hangs on to P4, but the Williams is not backing out. Almost it. Oh, he contacts him. Sends the Mercedes into the wall there. He's missing an end plate. That's a pit stop, unfortunately. Hopefully JST doesn't lose too much time on this in lap. Unfortunately, I think that decides his pit stop strategy so far. Even if the tires were going to last longer, he's going to have to dive in to avoid losing too much time. Fox in the Ferrari still hunting down the McLaren of Renan. Kaz is still hunting down the AlphaTauri of Raimai. Raimai coming up on the ghosted Labatt's Renault. Kaz still looking to fight for P14. Kaz with a 3-second time penalty, exceeding track limits. That does not help his battle situation. Yuppie in the pits for Ferrari, getting a brand new set of hards. We got a few more cars coming in. Stewart in the Mercedes. Oh, he had an issue getting a brand new front wing, unfortunately. That increases your pit stop time a little bit, but he is opting for the hards as well, looking to hopefully push those till the end of the race. We've got about 18 laps left here in Singapore, so we'll see what happens. Yuppie coming out right in between Renan and Fox, as Fox was trying to hunt him down. Not happening though. USGT in the pits for Racing Point, brand new set of mediums. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm thinking that he may be possibly swapping to a set of softs near the end. I don't think those mediums will take him to the end of the race, but maybe he'll... Oh, we got wheel to wheel. Oh no! Contact between the Ferraris, I think, and sends Yuppie around. Got a bit of wall contact there that may have damaged his wing. He does still have both end plates, so he should be okay. Another victim of Singapore here. Tight course. And the two Ferraris battling for position. Unfortunately, Yuppie coming out on the short end of that stick. Fox back to battling Renan for position. I missed a battle up here at the front. Jake Kelly, I guess not a battle, he's diving into the pits. Smith Pell up in the third, JST in second for Mercedes. Guitar Maniac sticking pretty close here to the Racing Point of detail, which I think may prove to be fatal for the... Oh, maybe not. Detail had a pretty good... He opened up a pretty good gap there. So Guitar Maniac will use the DRS just to get a little bit closer. Bit of a lockup there from Detail as the Williams goes wide. Monkey Mafia in P6 behind the Williams there. Detail just flying. Guitar Maniac does have a little 7-lap older tires, so that will definitely play a factor as Guitar Maniac falls out of DRS range, so Detail will breathe a little bit easier as Guitar Maniac can't post as big of a threat at the moment. Smith Pell only 5/10 off of second place. Mercedes and JST. ZGS almost 4 seconds ahead of second place. Hanging on to first for Williams. He will need to pit again, I'm sure. So we'll see what happens there. JST ducking into the pits, getting rid of those mediums. We'll hop on board with him quick just to see what happens. Oh, it looks like we got some hards coming on for Mercedes. Oh, and a brand new front wing. Oh, he was missing an end plate there, similar to his teammate earlier on. They drop and he'll get out of the pit box. Quite a few hard compound tire guys you can see there in P8, 9, 10, and 11. Lucid for Haas down there in P16, another hard tire runner. We might see some more hards quite soon as ooh, Stewart almost losing it there in the Mercedes. Probably doesn't have a ton of grip yet. Doesn't have a whole lot of heat in those tires. Alright. See if we can get these gaps figured out here. Fox, oh, and he loses it and completely destroys his front wing. Oh, that's devastating. He was fighting Reenan the whole way and just couldn't get it done, unfortunately. As you can see, some wrecked pieces of Ferrari carbon fiber all over the start of the bridge section there. Majorly unfortunate for Fox, as he will have to duck into the pits. He's losing quite a bit of time. You can see Yuppie catching up to him quite quickly here. My intervals aren't quite working, unfortunately. Some of them are, some of them aren't. The Fox will dive into the pits and lose a couple positions there. Definitely an unscheduled pit stop as the Ferrari team's coming out with a set of mediums and a brand new carbon fiber wing. Looks like he's serving a penalty. Mechanics can't work on the car for 5 seconds. Unfortunately, that'll yield a few more positions to his competitors. Alright, looks like we got Stewart up into P8 for Mercedes. And the on-track gaps are opened up quite a bit. Nothing too crazy. We'll cruise on board here with some of the guys a little bit further down the pack. I think Jake Kelly was in second place for Haas. Not his ideal race at the moment, but anything can happen. We still got about half the race left here in Singapore, so we'll see what happens. As Fox comes out of the pit, brand new mediums. I don't imagine it would make those till the end of the race, but it is possible. You can see Guitar Maniac, he's on 13 lap old mediums. That could very well be the case, and push these till the end of the race and see if he can't hopefully make up some spots on some guys that need to pit later on. Raimai and the AlphaTauri flying down that straight under the lights of Singapore. Yuppie getting by Stewart. I missed that. The back marker, Dan King there, you can see. Let's see if I must have missed an invite here. Oh, I guess not. Alright. Oh, Monkey Mafia. Oh, he goes deep. Oh, I think he just narrowly avoided some critical damage to the Red Bull there. He was pushing hard trying to catch up to Guitar Maniac, but that error unfortunately opened up a little bit of breathing room for the Williams. That was extremely close. Good save by Monkey. Unfortunately, he will have to push a little bit harder to try and catch up to that Williams that he was trying to chase so hard. Alright, we got the Haas of Lucid, only 5 tenths back on Raimai and the AlphaTauri. Definitely wants that position. We'll hop on board with the Haas here as he hunts down Raimai and P15. Smith Pell taking a 3-second time penalty for Red Bull. That opens up some breathing room again for ZGS. They're on similarly worn tires, so that could be interesting near the end of the race here. Raimai getting a little loose there on the exit. Coming onto the bridge. Oh, and he pushes him wide. Lucid forces his way in there in the Haas, taking P15 from Raimai. Raimai will definitely be looking to get that back. He'll be fighting to take his position. Flavius loses P9 to USGT on fresher tires. 17 laps old there on the mediums for the Renault. I imagine he'll be coming into pit any time now. I don't recall which tires he started on, so he'll be looking to switch those out for something here soon. Detail snagging P3 from Smith Pell as he dives into the pits somewhat early, but throwing on a brand new set of mediums. He's also serving a 5-second penalty by the looks of it. So they will, as he heads out of the pit box, another Williams in there, Guitar Maniac. Near the end of pit lane, throwing on a new set of hards to get him to the end of the race. "12 laps remaining here in Singapore. Right now, ZGS hanging on to first place for Williams. He will I'm assuming he's going to have to pit, but we'll see if he can hang on. Some of the guys, like Guitar Maniac and such, Fox taking a 3-second time penalty for Ferrari. Guitar Maniac having brand new tires, Smith Pell having brand new tires. I'd imagine the fight is going to be on. He'll be looking to get that position. Smith Pell could very well, hopefully, have the pace here. We know Yuppie's got good pace in the Ferrari. So we'll see how those hards handle for him. We got a spun Mercedes of J.Stee completely blowing apart his wing on the bridge there. You'll get those hards will be pretty hot on the rear We'll see if he can limp the Mercedes back to the pit for a brand new set of tires as he loses a few positions. The walls claim some more carbon fiber here in Singapore. There's quite a few close gaps here. I'm trying to get everybody in here on the broadcast. Stewart and Smith hunting down the Ferrari of Yuppie in 4th place. Takes off on him pretty good, even though they've got DRS. He is defending well on those hard compound tires. Oh, what do we got here? We got a battle, a drag race down the pit straight between Kaz, Flavius, and Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly making almost a mistake there. Kaz with a huge cut. Fox taking the position from Flavius as well. He is pushing those mediums extremely far. I'm thinking he's obviously doing a one-stop, which is not generally what's happening in this race today, but we'll see how it plays out for him. I imagine him pitting quite shortly, and he's going to put on those red compound soft tires to try to get some grip, try to get some time back, and see what happens. Raimai with a 3-second time penalty, exceeding track limits on those new mediums. I imagine they're feeling a little slippery. Detail closing in on the Williams ZGS here as they come off onto the first DRS section. He will... Oh, ZGS is blocking quite aggressively. Inside line to Detail. They're still wheel to wheel. Oh, ZGS squeezes it on the inside line. Jay Kelly with a 3-second time penalty back there in the Haas. ZGS will hang on to first place here. That was some good battling there. I don't think Detail's done just yet. He's got a little bit more grip here as they're getting close to the bridge, which is another DRS section as they come around this slow left-hander. ZGS gets a really good exit though. I imagine Detail will be burning up some of the electrical energy in the ERS system, energy recovery system. Closes up the gap a little bit. If he can stay within DRS, he may be able to fight back later on in the lap. Stewart pretty close to the back of Yuppie here. As they come onto the bridge, we got a little DRS train going here with Stewart and Smith Pell. Detail 5/10 back on the leader. He gained some time in that 3rd sector. And we're going to have another wheel-to-wheel battle here shortly, because I'm thinking the Detail is going to attempt to pass him again in the same spot he did one lap prior. We'll hop on board with the Racing Point. You can see a gap closing further back. Hopefully we don't miss anything. He won't catch him here. We'll cruise on back. Red Bull Mercedes wheel to wheel in turn 1. Smith Pell is getting aggressive here. He wants that position. Oh, Stewart loses it a little bit. Hopefully no damage to the Red Bull. Smith Pell is on the quicker tire as he gets to the inside there. Bit of a drag race, and the Red Bull is gonna take the position from Stewart and the Mercedes. Heavy lockup in there. Smith Pell hangs on to P5. They are closing in on some back markers there. You can see the blue flags. Alright. What else do we got on track here? Detail still on the back of ZGS there. Solid battle up in P1 and P2. Lucid taking over 14th position from Flavius as he gets into the pit finally for that new set of softs. See if he can't gain any sort of time on the drivers on the slower compounds. Smith Pell gets, oh no, Yuppie had a spin. Yuppie loses it in turn 22, I believe. He'll slowly putt back into the pits here. He's missing the whole left half of his wing. Hopefully Ferrari is on their game today. He's going to need a quick pit stop to get back out there. Monkey Mafia just coming out of the pits as well with a brand new set of softs. New softs going on to the Ferrari. A new wing. As some guys are coming around the pit straight. Yep, he's losing a few positions, but we know he's got some good pace. See if he can't... he's going to see if he can get out ahead of the Haas and Ferrari coming around the final corner here onto the pit straight. He won't. He'll lose a couple more positions. Unfortunate for Yuppie, he had some serious pace and he was holding off some drivers, but couldn't quite get it done. We got a spun AlphaTauri of Raimai in the second sector of the track here as he lets a few cars go by. And it looks like he's also missing the whole left half of his wing there. Another unscheduled pit stop here in Singapore. You can see some serious carbon fiber damage there on the front of the AlphaTauri. Unfortunate. He will also pit for some brand new softs, I assume. Yuppie snagging a position right away from Kaz. Kaz is on some pretty worn out medium tires. Fox is closing in on Jake Kelly a little bit here. We'll cruise back on up to the front battle here between Detail and ZGS. ZGS is sticking within DRS range. He's going to need a really good exit here on the bridge. To take that over. As they're coming in here into the slow left-hander. Bit of a lock up there. Stewart taking a 3-second time penalty in the Mercedes. Can he do it? I imagine ZGS will be defending hard. And he does. He won't get it done. It looks like these guys are going to push those tires to the end of the race. They're not going to give up their position on track. Smith Pell hanging on to the third for Red Bull with a 3-second gap between him and Stewart in fourth position. Those top, or the third, fourth, and fifth guys do have penalties. So we'll see how that plays out for them. Raimai in the pits there for AlphaTauri, getting a brand new set of softs. Oh, I missed it. My apologies. I didn't see the gap there. Detail finally getting by ZGS. And opening up that gap a little bit here. Sorry folks, I missed that one. ZGS getting a bit of a burst of speed there. You can see him close that gap up with DRS. ZGS not ready to give out that position quite yet, even though he has slightly more worn tires. They're going to push these things till the absolute end of the race. If Detail can keep this gap open, he will keep ZGS outside of that DRS window and could potentially continue to open up that gap even further. Yuppie setting the fastest lap of the session with a 1:38.725, smashing the previous record, I think, in the 140s. So he's definitely gaining some pace here, coming up on his teammate. His teammate's got some pretty worn mediums. They made some contact earlier in the race. I definitely know the Yuppie's going to be looking to get that position back, and he will with ease. as he hunts down Jake Kelly in the Haas. These soft tires are definitely working for him. ZGS taking a 3-second time penalty as he's trying to get closer to detail, failing to do so, adding another 3 seconds to that gap. Yep, he is sticking on the gearbox here, Jake Kelly. They're getting close to the bridge here, so I think, yep, he's going to make another pass, taking P8 from Jake Kelly in the Haas. The Ferrari driver showing some serious speed here today. Maybe not, Jake Kelly got a good exit there. ZGS diving into the pits. Very late in the race, looking to get some more pace back out of those softs. He's got about 5 laps left. Jake Kelly getting a little loose on the back there of the Haas. Oh, and he smacks the wall. Oh, and he hits the wall again. That's going to be an unscheduled pit stop for the Haas, that is for sure. He's going to be having some serious wing damage on the front of the car. As you can see, the Haas diving there. Jake Kelly taking a 3-second time penalty, exceeding track limits on that tricky pit entrance. Majorly unfortunate for him. He'll snag a new set of softs. He'll lose probably 2 or 3 positions here. Looks like a Mercedes is coming around turn 23 there, crossing the finish line, so he will pass the Haas as he gets a new wing and a new set of soft tires. He'll head out. He's currently sitting in P12. His teammate 2 places behind him. Flavius, oh, almost loses it there. Trying to hunt down the Haas. Won't quite do it. Kaz just sneaking by Jake Kelly, coming into the first set of turns there. Nothing too close on track right now. We got a Ferrari there. Ooh, Fox is losing it. Can't tell. He's missing a right end plate there, so that's some serious downforce loss. We got a Alfa Romeo spun as well. Looks like Kaz having some grief. I don't know if he managed to sneak away. Without damage, sorry. I think he's missing an end plate potentially. He may need to pit again, or just push the car till the end of the race. There isn't any super close track battles right now. We'll cruise down the grid here. Labatt's just coming out of the pit there in the Renault, brand new set of softs. Ryan Mai cruising through the 3rd sector here in the AlphaTauri. Every driver that is currently driving, not ghosted obviously, as Labatt's and Mo Power are. Every driver will score points today. Looks like we got another issue there from Kaz. Not Kaz, Dan King. Dan King. Missing a right end plate there. Almost hits the wall. Definitely messes up your braking points when you don't have the downforce of the front wing helping you out. Kaz diving into the pits, getting his car fixed. You can see the pit crew there for Alfa Romeo waiting for the brand new set of softs. ZGS 138.474, fastest lap of the session so far. An extra point will potentially go to Williams. We've got 3 or 4 laps remaining here in Singapore. Currently Detail hanging out at the top of the grid with a 13-second gap to the 2nd place Red Bull of Smith Pell. Stewart hanging on to 3rd place in the Mercedes. So we'll see what happens there. ZGS just a second back from the Mercedes of Stewart, and he's got newer tires, so he's going to be pushing to snag that podium position away from the Mercedes. As you saw earlier with that fastest lap, he's setting some blistering times. He's definitely closing in on the Mercedes here. I think Stewart might fall to the soft tires of the Williams. Let's see what the penalties are at right now. P2 through P5 all have 3 seconds of penalties, so they will all cancel out. Nobody will be jumping any positions if the penalties stay the way they are. So ZGS will need to get by Stewart if he wants to step onto the podium tonight here in Marina Bay. Detail hanging on to the front position. He's losing some time. Raimai taking a 3-second time penalty in the AlphaTauri. Smith Pell closing the gap a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Oh, we got wheel-to-wheel action here. ZGS elbows out in turn 3 there. Getting by the Mercedes of Stewart. I don't know who's going to have DRS. The Mercedes will. As he fights back. Oh! A little bit of contact. Stewart can't hang on to 3rd place right now. And ZGS is starting to open up that gap already. Unfortunately, those 15 lap old hards won't quite do it for Stewart. That's devastating this late in the race. And we'll just slowly go back through the grid here. Guitar Maniac sitting in P5 for Williams. A good points boost to them. Monkey Mafia, 6th place. 7th, Renan. Yuppie hanging out in 8th. And teammate Fox right behind him in P9. USGT in the Racing Point hanging on to 10th position. JST in the Mercedes, the teammate to Stewart, in P11. Jay Kelly in 12th place. The Renault of Flavius in 13th. 14th is Kaz. 15th, the Haas of Lucid. 16th, the Ghost of Labatt's. Raimai and the AlphaTauri hanging out in P17. The Ghost of Cowboy in P18. The the McLaren. And the Alfa Romeo with Dan King rounding out the grid in P19. Hanging on to the race. We're on the penultimate lap here in Singapore. Lap 30 of 31. Detail hanging on to 1st place. Smith Pell was dropping that gap though 2 laps ago roughly. That was about a 13-second gap. So I don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully not the commentator's curse. Detail needs to push hard here to make sure that Smith Pell doesn't catch up to him on those fresher tires. ZGS is putting in some effort here to try to catch up, but I don't think he will. He's opened up the gap a little bit on Stewart. Stewart is not giving up though. He is pushing in the Ferrari. The Mercedes. Mixing all my cars up here. USGT only 3/10 back on Fox. We'll hop on board with him. I apologize, I gotta get a quick invite out. USGT in the Racing Point is doing his best to get that position from Fox, but I don't think he's gonna do it. Detail just starting the final lap here in Singapore. Smith Pell closing up that gap to just under 5 seconds. Detail also doesn't have any penalties. He's went the entire Grand Prix with no penalties. He's got 20 lap old medium tires. A heck of a push here from the Racing Point driver. Smith Pell is doing his best to close that gap, but I don't think he'll quite get it done as the Racing Point comes around the hairpin onto the bridge. About halfway through the lap here in Marina Bay. Smith Pell is pushing. He is pushing that Red Bull to its absolute limit. It's going to come down to the final turns here. Smith Pell, oh no, snags another penalty. Majorly unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. Detail coming around into the final turns here in Singapore. We should see some fireworks any second now as he cruises down the pit straight across the finish line. The Racing Point takes the win. Smith Pell in second place. CGS and the Williams just about to come across the line in third place. Heck of a race from these drivers. Guitar Maniac sneaking fourth at the line from Stewart there. Oh, we got a Alfa Romeo spinning at the back there. Monkey Mafia coming across the line in P6 for Red Bull. Reenan in seventh with Yuppie hot on his tail. Reenan will cross the line in P7 for McLaren. P8 goes to Ferrari and Yuppie. USGT, the teammate to Detail, about to come across the line in P9. P10, Fox quickly behind him. JST not too far behind. He'll cross the line in P11. Kaz throwing out a little flare at the finish line there for his fans. And that'll do it. That'll conclude the Singapore Grand Prix. The second last race here in the East Coast Formula One Championship. Driver of the Day award going to USGT. As the Racing Point driver will take the top step of the podium alongside the Red Bull and Williams teams. The classic spray of champagne. Detail taken first, Smith Pell in P2, and ZGS rounding out the podium in third position. P4 goes to Guitar Maniac. So that's a P3, P4 finish there for Williams. That's a good boost to their standings. Fifth goes to Stewart, Monkey Mafia, taking sixth. Seventh goes to Reenan. Eighth goes to Yuppie. Ninth goes to USGT. Fox taking 10th. JST in the Mercedes in P11. P12 goes to the Haas. P13 goes to the Renault. P14 to Alfa Romeo. P15 to the Haas of Lucid. Labatt's taking 16th for Renault. Raimai taking P17 in the AlphaTauri. P18 goes to Cowboy in the McLaren. Dan King taking 19th. And unfortunately, Raimai's teammate Dissection crashing out there partway through the race. So that is a DNF. So that'll conclude the race here, Marina Bay, under the lights of Singapore. Now we'll cruise on over to our showroom here and see if we can't get a couple of the guys in here for some interviews. Alright, so see if I can remember everybody. Let's quickly back out here. As we're waiting. Alright. Just a moment here as I try to get these guys in here. Alright, we got Detail, we've got Smith Pell. And we've got ZGS in here somewhere, I believe. Thanks to Kaz on the shout out for the comms. Uh, doing my best for you guys. Alright, we got the race winner here. Detail for Racing Point. Congratulations on the dub. Fantastic drive. Give us a bit of a breakdown.
I don't think I was planning on it.
I wouldn't think you were either. That is a difficult track to pull that off.
Honestly, I was really hoping to get my CES earlier, and when I couldn't, I was kind of just, I don't know if that was like a blessing in disguise, but it kind of saved my tires. And at some point, I just decided I'm just gonna wait till he pits. Hopefully he does, but I didn't really know when he pits.
Right.
So I was just hoping for that, and he did. I figured, I looked at the gap to Seth, and I was like, he's got a 3 second. Even if he catches me, that might be difficult again. So I was kind of just cruising at the end, and it did pay off. But my tires definitely fell off the road like 2 laps ago.
Yeah, they most definitely would have.
I was lucky.
Yeah, certainly the not having any penalties was definitely a blessing. I mean, it gives you a bit of a breathing room, a little bit of sigh of relief when you know that you can even lose close to 3 seconds of the driver ahead to still secure the position. So.
Oh yeah. Without that 3 seconds, like I think Smith at the end was like 2 seconds or less away from me. So yeah, it would have been really close without that.
Yeah, in those closing gaps, he definitely, the closing laps, he closed the gap quite significantly. I think his tires are about 5 or 6 laps fresher than yours. So it definitely would have been a lot closer if he had to sling those mediums around for another lap or two.
Yeah, they probably would have. I had them on since lap 11. They were
Well, congratulations on the win, Detail.
Thanks. Congrats to the other folks.
Certainly, we'll swap over to the second place guy, Smith Pell. Congratulations on P2, extending your driver's points, by a big margin. Obviously, we don't have our stats guy in here, but I'm pretty sure that probably secures the driver's championship for you, I would think. But
yeah, thank you. I think it does. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it too closely. I think it was 40 something to Kelly, so that probably does it with 1 race left, but I don't know.
He was quite a ways down the grid there, so I'm thinking I should have had that ready to go, but either way, fantastic drive in Singapore. Give us a bit of a breakdown.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't have much time to practice actually this week, which usually I try to do more than I did this time, but it felt pretty good. Quali was okay. I kind of gambled because I wanted to keep a set of softs back in case there was a late safety car, and my second run was shit, so I spun. So I started a little bit further back than I wanted to, but my first lap in the race couldn't be better. I think I got by 2 or 3 people, and then the only blemishes I had, I sped going into the pit lane because I didn't practice that, and then I had two track penalties. So without those, I think I could have caught the guys in front. But even in the first stint, Detail had huge pace because he caught me from like 3 seconds back in the first stint. So I think he had the pace. If he would have run the same strategy as me, I think he probably would have won anyway, to be fair. But pretty impressive that he made the tires last that long.
Yeah, he definitely. I was quite surprised. I didn't think that he would push it that far, but given where he was at the final laps of the race, there would have been not a good idea to pit.
No, and even that he got the softs to lap 11. That's a long way. Like my softs felt like crap after 7 or 8. I think I went 1 more lap than the guys in front of me, and then I knew he was going to go a little longer. He usually tries to extend his stints a bit. So anyway, it was a fun race.
Yeah, they definitely take a beating here for sure.
especially the rears.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, congratulations on P2.
Thank you.
And we got the third place driver, ZGS, in here for Williams. Congrats on the podium. You had a good race there. You it seemed like the pace picked up in the kind of second half, I think. Yeah. Yeah, jump back up those positions, and which it definitely panned out.
When I followed the Mercedes in, a racing point got in between us on pit exit, and that really held me up trying to stay with Stewart.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I was like 2 or 3 seconds behind him, and I had to try to close the gap, and I did eventually, but it took his mistake for me to get by him.
Yeah, which is that was definitely a blessing.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what happened. I think it was with his teammate.
Yeah, I think they were getting wheel to wheel. They were getting a little close there, and I mean that can definitely mess anybody up. But well, congratulations on P3 taking that podium. Your teammate was right behind you, so that's a good jump to your guys' points.
Yeah, and that was a bummer too that he had trouble lap one. I'm glad he was able to get back to fourth.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good push from you guys. Congrats again, and we'll see you next week in Canada.
Yep. See you next week.
Alright, everyone, so that wraps it up here. Round 21 of the East Coast Formula One Championship in Marina Bay in Singapore. We're going to sign off, and we are going to see you next week in Montreal. Have a good evening.